You know how it goes with the sand between our toes. We got none of the pivots, but all of the throws. All right. A little something special for the WGGGMBUCC. It's a lyrical sculpture in the sand that I carve. This is Flash on the mic, now on the carve. From 40 to 60, we are on the attack. If I can just get some vitamin I from my back foot on the line, yeah, I'm ready to go. Or did I just pull a muscle? Hold on for a moment. Play it cool. Just act like I'm young. Got flicks on my wrist and lyrics on my tongue. 20 more, 10 more years left to go. Tricks from the past and a buttery flow. A little slow off the start. I like to call my speed brisk. The sunshine glints off my slow-moving disc. You know how it goes with the sand between my toes. I got none of the pivots, but all the throws. Yeah, I got some dodgy knees. Disc in my hand and the sun in the sky. My dad bod goes jiggle and my hucks they fly. The spirits are rising like a disc on the breeze, going miles out of bounds to the Portuguese seas. I played a point, yeah, I need a sub and a good long soak in an XL tub. Don't need to run anymore, I'm one of 14 handlers. Happy Gilmore this disc like we're all Adam Sandlers. I'm slow off the start. I like to call it brisk. The sunshine glints on my slow-moving disc. You know how it goes with the sand between my toes. We got none of the pivots, but all the throws. Alright, let's finish this off. Call my speed brisk. The sunshine glints off my slow-moving disc. You know how it goes with the sand between our toes. We got none of the pivots, but all of the throws.
Well, we are back. We never went anywhere. Who's kidding who? One game to the next. Cesario runs up to the line. Hucks it, no surprise. Hanging and fading away. Huck and D is on from the get-go here. Cesario sends it to the other end. We're in the grand finals here. World Great Grandmasters Beach Ultimate Club Championships here from Sardinia. I'm Stefan Rapazzo with Hannah Pendlebury. We're underway, rundown against Natsuo, and it's all happening. One turnover on a huck option already. Now, sent the other way, Jamie Cashin goes to sand to pick it up. Cashin spins around on the doorstep. Goes backwards there, picked up by Pletcher. Pletcher feeds towards the corner, still no action for goal. Back to Wells. Wells sees Pletcher again. Pletcher leads. Cashin cashes it in. And that is a break on the first point of the game. Huck and D effective thus far.
Well, that is an ideal start for Rundown. They are the current USA Beach National Champions back home in this Great Grandmasters division. Appleyard there with the hockey assist. We saw in the earlier game stages Peter Wells with all the creativity, but this time it's Mark Pletcher opening up that backhand as we get finnied. And we missed the shot of Jamie Cashin in that first goal on the board. A break for Rundown. They really took apart Spangled, the former champions, in their semi-final. Denied them everything that they wanted, but it's all going to be about staying on the high side of the pitch. We're on the high side. We're on the high side of the pitch. We're being blown apart by the wind. We have all four corners of our gazebo being held down by volunteers and players here. Shout out to Roo Feitel, who's just currently hanging out with us. He's got a beer in hand, of course, of Young Legends, but thus far it's all about being those big shots, taking it on in these breezy conditions.
Andrew Luxton winds up, delivers Don Tom. Fakes the backhand, all sorts of space for Tom. Pops one up, Scullion with a disc. Scullion in the middle. Backhand across to Kwok. Low, but Luxton, the big man, gets down. Luxton 2 meters out, feeds one in, and fourth can't hang on to the shovel pass into the goal. That one's going to go back to Rundown, and they are still running on the same momentum they had in that quarterfinal victory through Hurt and the continuation in the semi. hammer. An interesting choice in this weather, but not too far off. In fact, Don Tom floats one up and tried to recalibrate and does. Great collection by Scullion, ties things up, one apiece. That time a hold, still a break in the back pocket for Rundown.
Oh wow, that was an incredible snatch for Jaden Scullion, keeping the disc just a whisker away from the jaws of the Sand Monster. Don Tom with a beautiful backhand, but just a little bit overcooked on the attack. Forgetting about the wind is not a wise choice in this game. But a big old hammer. I don't mind that hammer that kind of missed the target in the center pocket for Rundown. Rodrigo Prudencio was the man in the middle, but it wasn't too far off of him. Came down to earth like a comet. But we know that this is the elite levels here for these great Grandmaster Beach players, the veterans of our wonderful sport, who can make some pretty magical stuff happen here on the beach.
Indeed, that pole hits ground and rolls towards the far sideline. Downing to pick it up.
Well, this is the elite offensive 5 for Rundown.
21 on 21. Downing opens up the arm. The flick sails deep beyond the back line of the end zone. And a chance now for Natsuo to put a potential break on the board, but they've got a long way to go to make that a reality.
Yeah, it just goes to show how powerful the arm is of Darren Allen. Really is someone with explosive power coming out of him, but unfortunately that one being thrown on that far sideline isn't going to gain any yards whatsoever, because it is so difficult to execute that throw. I'm sure he'll learn from that one and not make that folly again.
Wow, yes, going out the back. Interesting there, the gained yards there. Ooh, low for Cesario. The throw out of the hands of Klaus, and now floated away. That is surely going to go back to Natsuo. Klaus, low, but handled there by Laverty. Shot deep, beats with the hands, hangs on, spiked there, and suddenly this wind is seeming more manageable.
Well, you see that with the Sardinian headband. A score for Kimberley Beach, nominative determinism. Of course, coming out here on the sands, a beautifully weighted shot. Laverty just throwing an absolute dime into the end zone, and that puts us back on serve after Rundown just couldn't quite hold on to it. A throw to nowhere from Grant Cashin, and on the second opportunity, Rundown get punished, and Natsuo get away with one.
So great start to the game, a break apiece and a hold to boot for Natsuo, a 2-1 lead, nice and tight early. A couple of different strategies already, some just going for distance and at times willing to put it through the hands. The pole setup, that is Capitan Sean McCall, and a bounce and a nice smack away by Appleyard. Oh my God! Callahan flying through Jaden Scullion, but there is a conversation. Not in is called, not a Callahan, an interception, and the next throw goes Sean McCall with the goal, but Jaden Scullion getting all the deserved attention from his teammates for that flying defensive interception.
Well, giving us all of the action right in the camera. That was a scintillating play from Jaden Scullion, just completely ripping the disc out of possession. And Rundown looking a bit run low on fuel here.
Houston, we have liftoff. That was incredible. I can't believe it wasn't a Callahan. I thought originally, I just missed the replay there. I thought for sure he landed in the end zone. Either way, it's a goal right now. Don't be a Finny.
He's not going to care. I think you could see from all of the body language, it doesn't matter. For Jaden Scullion, a goal is a goal, be it a Callahan or nah. We'll let you decide in the live chat what your thoughts were on that particular play, but either way, a fantastic work for the number 42.
Downen winds up, Hurd there, but in front of him was the number 18 shirt.
K-Beezy.
K-Beezy takes it away. K-Beezy mixing it up with the tank top over top today. But Ken Butler getting her done, getting a turn, but it does go back to Rundown. Grant Cashin picks it up and brings it to the line. Cashin goes around and finds Kritzinger. Hurd. Now to Middlesbrook. Cashin again. Grant Cashin, like he did in the last game, floats one out of bounds, trusting Hurd, and then to Downen, and Rundown back on the board. 2-3. Beautiful throw again by Cashin. Even though the wind got a bit more, this one needed a bit more receiving effort. Still visionary look to put it up out of bounds like that on the low release backhand outside in.
Well, that's more like it. Keeping the disc on the strong side, the high side of the pitch, just using those little jinky backhands and throwing around the mark of Kent Butler. A lovely release for Grant Cashin, going all the way to the bank, making the safety deposit box. Into now is Clayton Hurd. We mentioned it on the first live stream game for Rundown, but Hurd is here on his slightly delayed honeymoon. He and his wife got married just before the pandemic shut down, so they're able to celebrate their nuptials here in Sardinia. Really enjoying being here. And he's also recently published a book.
Sounds exciting.
All about race relations. So he's a scholarly man as well as a fantastic athlete, and we've been talking all championship long about Daryl Nounan, his throws. He's a physician by trade, one of the medics on this Rundown side. So just what the doctor ordered, a point on the board, but less so on that, an out-of-bounds pull.
Yeah, we have got Kimberly Beach running it back to the line. And be careful on those pulls going out of bounds.
And a vintage hand signal there. It's no longer a clap overhead to signal a bricked pull. It's just one arm up.
Yep, then vintage calls are no surprise here in the Great Grandmasters division. Calls, signals, all of that. Kwok walks it up to the line. Kwok sends it towards the end zone, and the angle on that doesn't allow a reception. Rundown are going to get a chance here to potentially break, but a long way to go.
Well, two tempting targets on the low side of the pitch, both Don Tom and Katie Forth racing towards that deep space.
Furr fires one into Smith. Smith sends deep, missed by one, missed by two, collected by the intended receiver. You got to be kidding me. And then knocked away. Fraser calls the foul.
Yeah, Forth, a little dynamo, getting a little bit too much of a touch.
There it is again. Fraser looking upfield, spinning around now, looking to the backfield. Looking any field, finally gets somebody he likes, and that's Russell Furr.
I'd like him. If I was playing with him, I'd like to throw him the Frisbee quite often. He's a big old target.
Furr finds the end zone there. That's Webb with the goal. A discussion? I don't think so. Celebration Webb puts it down. That is a tie game, 3 apiece here. Championship final.
Yeah, Peter Wells, known for his creativity with throws, but this time just getting low, low, low in that front corner. I wanted to call him Peter Kelly. Still don't know why. Still don't know where that comes from. But well, well, well. That's a break back for Rundown. We are level up, everything back on serve. The momentum is quickly swinging back and forth, almost as quickly as the breeze is going back and forth. Choosing which diagonal to go along as the volunteers now try and re-bury the sideline tape straight in the sand. Massive thank you to all of our hardworking Sardinian volunteers.
They've been doing a wonderful job here. A fantastic put-on event by the Bula organization, but it always takes a hard-working LOC, and the LOC and the volunteers on the ground here have been great to us and the whole tournament for the last 4 days with great consistency.
And in this case, literally on the ground, reburying those tapes in. We've got plenty of them helping us also keep our gazebo up. Although Rufeitel has now gone to just a foot on the tape, as the wind has dropped a little bit. It's still very feisty, but not as awful as it was in the bronze medal match.
No, not at all. That one lands down and rolls out. It is still windy, but you're right, it has dropped off just a touch. Laverty goes over top as he got the buy on his sold fake. And then back into the hands of Laverty, that one from Furigai. And a turnover there. Rundown with less than a midfield to go. Pletcher goes into the hand of Appleyard. Appleyard throws too far, never in. That'll come back where Furigard is.
Well, I have to give hats off effort there. Jamie Cashin getting a high block. She's not the biggest athlete on the pitch by anyone's measure, apart from maybe her just presence, the force of mind, the force of will she has. But way to get up off the sand, using every extra half an inch, 5'5.5".
Back in play, Johnny Hawk likes that throw and whips it into Laverty. Had to be very careful to catch that one.
Interesting choice to force flick here, unless they're forcing middle perhaps. Rundown against Natsuo, allowing that open side throw and sort of sitting in the lane.
Woo! What a play there. Furigai leaves his feet, comes up with the goods. Now Hawk. Hawk goes center! Crossing defense by Appleyard. Knocks it away, a little bit of contact. He might be shaken up on the play. Yeah, he's giving the travel signal, but I think he means to give the injury signal. And there will be a replacement coming in. That's Nounen. And the reciprocation, Roscoe Dick switches in for Scullion. Here's another look.
Oh, that's an amazing run-through block. I don't think there was any real collision there. Just Appleyard getting up in the mixer and denying the pass through.
I'm not sure. I think at the very trail end, he might have friendly fire run into the legs of Pletcher.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, but nothing you can call back on a foul.
Oh, no, certainly not.
So sacrificing himself on the altar of greatness.
Nice catch there. Every catch a good catch. Joey Stewart, then to Jamie Cashin. Pletcher can't handle. Natsuo now, picked up by Groman. Groman spins around, goes forward. Scullion macked, but falls away. Another possession for Rundown. Pletcher. Keeping eyes upfield, somehow gets that through and into the hands of Lebong. He sends it for Pletcher, and it goes out maybe about 15 to 20 meters away from Natsuo's end zone.
Yeah, I don't mind that option from Lebon, getting the yards. Had enough separation from that far sideline that it could actually gain them some more difficult field position for Natsuo to go against. but he's got a big old frame. Could certainly step around and maybe throw some sort of backhand, or even step forward and release a backhand with a lot of tilt on it. Try and fight it against this wind.
Hucks, and it doesn't get to Scullion, but they do get it to the other end of the field.
We're back to gunslinging action here. Gold medalists, hopefuls. We're going to get a guaranteed change, of course, Spangle being knocked out.
Nounen zips it, but it was always low, difficult for Le Bon to have any chance at that one. And that left the field of play a long ways away, so the hucking effort doesn't even count for field position.
It's a gift for Natsuo.
Huck on the goal line here. Heavy traffic. Furigai.
Very clustered on that far side, the low side of the pitch for the wind. I'd like to see them be a little bit more confident, maybe even just go for some isolations, leaving themselves somewhere speculative to throw if they need to.
Scullion looks for the backhand break, goes back to the open side, and has Laverty, who pirouettes before he gets a disc flip spike. And that's the go-ahead for Rundown, making it 4-3 for Natsuo, making it 4-3 with a hold there after a whole bunch of turnovers, 8 of them in the end.
Well, we are getting some whirling dervish celebrations of offensive holds in this gold medal match, but it just shows off how difficult the conditions are here. Jaden Scullion there, lashing at one into the breeze. Celebration as well. The flippin' chest bump. Love to see that fantastic spirit being shown in terms of just enjoyment of the play. Tim Laverty, 1 goal and 1 assist so far in this match, so involved in half of Natsuo's scores. They do have the upwind and downwind lines that they've been using, because that is the wind conditions we've seen. The weather has been either determinedly one way towards a particular end zone, but we have a crosswind in front of us right now.
I don't know how that pole is still not broken.
Bend, not break, like palm trees.
Like a good defense.
Yeah, unfortunately our pole cam has a tendency to be not bend or break, but just fall.
Bend is break when it's a telescopic pole.
And also I think a sort of fall is probably break Lutzi. Hard working on camera too, all this tournament long.
Yeah, she is a keeper. This one brought into play Russell Furr. Winds up the backhand, and then the forehand lands in, stays in, and Klaus knocks it down to ensure slightly better field position.
Well, if anything, that's a bit of a gift for Natsuo facing this direction, because well, that's the strong side of the pitch. That's the high side in the wind.
Don Tom whips it deep. McCall on the chase, but can't get it while he dives to the ground. Back the other way like a ping pong match right now. Hangs up, falls in on the far sideline. Picked up again by Don Tom. Tom fires, can't touch Ken Klaus. And Krutzinger goes to Middlesbrough. Too high for cash-in. Stolen by Don Tom. Open in the end zone was Klaus for just a minute, but Don Tom doesn't take it. Now Klaus comes back towards the disc. Into McCall. McCall fakes a jab at the backhand. Looks back to the wide side. Fusat to goal. Klaus is there. And Natsuo put in another break. Put it up to 5-3, but there's a chat. Not quite yet. Does that scoreboard change? Or does it?
Well, it looked relatively clean to me, so I think it must be, and as he puts his shirt back down, the ball echoes the call, it's a pick. And our sideline wind prevention / wind break prevention volunteer is now taking a nice little video of our setup.
Spin around by McCall, Don Tom with the disc, back to McCall. That time there is no denial. Natsuo with a point on the board. That is a break. 5-3, 2-goal lead for the Houstonites.
2 goals, but of course just the one extra break. Rundown have had 2 defensive efforts that have paid off, both of them whistle clean. Whereas 2 of the 3 Natsuo breaks of score have required a second turnover to be generated until they could punch them in. So Rundown a little bit more ruthless on defense, but they're going to have to put in plenty more notches to take this one away. They started, they won the flip, had the advantage, and got... Sorry, I take that back. It's Natsuo that started and got the advantage. It's Rundown that got that first break of goal to open us up. But we expected this one to be a tight one. And even against these horrible wind conditions, Steph, we are getting a heckin' game.
Getting a match here, Rundown. They've got to do their job now, find a way to hold. Right now, breaks coming more frequently than holds. 5 breaks to 3 holds is also a score line.
We've also, and the passes haven't been completely accurate across the board, but we haven't made it into single-digit pass numbers on a single offensive possession thus far in this game, Steph.
Well, that is not a surprise. Downen coming to the brick mark, Scullion waiting there for him. The Natsuo line has been substantially shortened in this game, using less depth than they did even in the semi. That one goes high. Hurd is there. Recovery and then finishing touches put in. Joey Stewart with the reception and the goal. That makes it 4-3 with a hold there. 4-5 rather with that hold by Rundown.
Well, getting a little bit of luck. You've got to be good to be lucky, though, to quote the words of Stefan Rapazzo. Naunen sailing it all over the pack. But look at this from Stewart as well. Just that determination and the lovely little inside leading backhand from Clayton Hurd to punch in another assist for this game.
I like the no hesitation there by Hurd. It was a position where you could have easily just waited for reinforcements, potentially calling a timeout or something foolish like that. But Hurd just saw a moment of separation, a hallway to throw through, and threw it, and reaped the benefits for it.
Yeah, the man can't float in the ocean. That's what his teammates discovered when they arrived in Sardinia. And he is also, he got attacked by some fish. Not a big fan of them. But thankfully, he knows how to put a lot of float on a backhand for a goal in the end zone.
Hits the ground and picked up by the big Canadian Lugsden. Then to Don Tom and now Kwok. Kwok goes forward, Tom with the disc. Put into the corner, Scullion. Lugsden in fourth in the end zone. Looked at Lugsden, what a pickup. Cat-like reflexes, big man getting low again. And there, what a big layout hand block. A huge play there by Russell Furr. Getting him back in it, disc in the hands of Rundown. Appleyard. Appleyard zips one to Furr. Furr having a look around, leads Webb. Webb has a goal, that is a break. And back on the board, make it 5 apiece. We got a game on our hands here, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, Wells showing he had a moment on that far corner, and we talked about his throwing creativity. So we give us an opportunity to also admire that. Well, let's get another look at that absolutely huge layout hand block. Well, I say layout.
Fallout.
Fallout hand block but a fallout boy, but not falling around on offense, doing exactly the business required. Lovely curvature on that one, just to sneak past the laying out form of Scullion. And again, it is the captain, Joey Stewart, in the end zone, finishing off and punctuating these goals. They are indeed running relatively short lines, is this rundown squad, as they've gotten to the business end of the tournament, but their sideline are fine with it. They are all here for the same mission and journey, and that is to get themselves a world gold medal to match their domestic one from this season. So leveled up at 5s, and surely that would have been to take half.
Yeah, I would imagine it with the timing. We're gonna go confirm that for you now. 5 apiece, 3 breaks apiece, and just about 15 minutes remaining by the time this disc is in play.
So I can confirm, Steph, much like the game before it, we are at Galaxy Point at 5s.
Ooh, this is Galaxy Point. This is to take half. We are all knotted up in every which way, equal breaks, equal scoreline. This is a wonderful final, and the wind is still blowing, but it has dropped off from what we had in that bronze medal game.
Oh wow, and a game of pinball off of the pole that landed just out of bounds there, Steph. Massive feist on it from Colin Smith.
Johnny Hawk gonna take a walk to the brick mark, and there he will meet the awaiting mark of Lebong.
Indeed, formerly of Windy City back in the 90s. So plenty of practice
cuts,
here.
And that one can't be handled by Fjorguy. Off the hand, Nowden, and then off the hands of Smith on a short pass. Fontenette picks up, and another one to ground. 3 turnovers in the span of about 10 seconds, and Nowden pushes off, but Klaus admits he had to. It was his fault for invading that space.
An apology with a butt slap, no less.
I think I got a butt slap out of Klaus today too, to be very honest.
And our
Middlesbrough.
First completed pass of the game. Well, point, sorry.
And Cashin drops that one, does Jamie Cashin. Hawk picks up, and there's only one thing left to do with that flurry of drops. Hawk it. No, we've got a call up field here somewhere.
Well, we're at high tide and high stakes here on the beach.
Johnny Hawk winds up, opens up. Cashin with a chance there, but Fontenette denies. At least they get the field position. And sorry, that's the other way around.
Yeah,
Cashin denies from Fontenette.
It's been so many turnovers, Steph. I cannot blame you. No one knows who's supposed to be on offense anymore.
Nowden tries a crafty throw, but the wind says no. And Nowden maybe calling a foul.
Definitely calling it. But after a discussion, it's going to call.
Turnover stands. Jamie Cashin's being told to leave it where it lies, but they do continue to discuss. And Cashin is going to leave the disc. It will be a Natsuo possession. Hawk to pick up.
Well, Rundown will receive the disc to start the second half, and the second half starts after this point.
Hawk. Nothing upfield. Goes to the dump space. Gets Laverty. Fires to goal now and takes it away. And now down and winds up. He gets Colin Smith in the under on his goal line. Nowden wound up the backhand, but conservative to cash it, now Middlesbrough. And a series of completions, great to see until then. Downen sees it to the sand. Laverty over the shoulder, Hawk now. Hawk to the middle, Furigai, Laverty. Klaus and a travel called. Is that still a travel under the new rules? Not sure.
Have to roll back the tape and watch again.
Potentially the change of speed there. Laverty bobbles, hangs on. Inside, Furigai. Wide to Hawk. Sorry, yes it is Hawk. Far sideline, he clutches in glee as they take half. Houston 6, Rundown 5. And this game going to expectation.
It really is. It's delivering a little bit of everything despite these blustery conditions. The wind has come back to full force. We're back in the horrendous wind that we saw in the bronze medal match, the game slot before this one. But just to remind you folks, Natsuo started this game on offense. So this is currently all going to serve as far as the break trading throughout the first half. 3 apiece. It's been swings of momentum back and forth. And of course, Natsuo, that run of 3, very, very powerful. But Rundown to start the second after this break.
We live in a world where everything can be referenced online. Imagine if the greatest moments in our sport were never filmed. Eurodisc continues to do what it takes to make free-to-watch live streams a reality. Let's leave nothing to the imagination. We'll consume the action live, and we'll support those that help to make it happen. If it wasn't streamed, it didn't happen. Eurodisc.
What a grab! Oh my God! Somehow they do it! And that pole lands and rolls and rolls and rolls. Fur wishing he had a bike to get on there to go collect that one, but does it with the feet anyways.
Well, it gives us a chance to talk about how wonderful these pink Eurodiscs are, made of course of 100% renewable raw materials.
The good stuff. We've had a chat to a lot of these great grandmasters, a lot of American great grandmasters used to growing up with the other brand, and the resounding sentiment is, well, it flies exactly the same, but there's 0 deviation here. And happy to hear that. Krutzinger with the disc. Fur gets cut off in the corner, and well covered is Cashin as well. Krutzinger tries to get it through. It's Scullion again with a defensive play, now 4th. 4th finds corner, and it is caught. I'm not sure how, but Don Tom keeps 2 hands on it, and that is the biggest lead of the game, 7-5 to Houston.
Well, a break to start off the second half, but that is exactly what Rundown did at the beginning of this game. I think they need to remind themselves of that fact as they hustle towards the line now, but Joe, tell you what, Scullion is really an impact player. Jaden Scullion, that is 2 blocks total for the game, and pivotal they were. One, the very near Callahan in the early stages, a Madison, Wisconsin man. He started playing back when Worlds was hosted there in 1993. So many of the athletes here on the sand started because of the localities of various world championships. So if you want to build your ultimate community, folks, put yourselves together a bid for World Federation events. You never know who you might end up with. But Scullion, of course, one of those surly world champs back in Ireland on the grass in the rain, but also plenty of wind. And a big shout out to all of the Coach Scullion athletes and to his daughter, who he hopes will one day pick up this wonderful sport. I say that, he hopes to coach her in her future career. I'm sure it's determined already.
Picked up by Nounen. Center to Pletcher. Pletcher goes wide and connects there to McDowell. McDowell Makes Nounen go to ground, but he doesn't mind. Nounen, Pletcher. Nounen again. Surveying options. The upline comes from Appleyard. He gets some separation. Switch on the D. Appleyard. Far sideline. Everything's upwind from here, but he doesn't mind. But the throw had too much zip on it, in fact, and goes beyond the intended McDowell.
Yeah, that is a shame. I think McDowell thought that was going to hang a little bit more, wasn't quite ready to turn the hips and chase it down, but it was a visionary throw there from Appleyard on a high stall.
Furaguy opens up to Laverty. Straight back to Furaguy, bounces off the hands. Nounen not shy to pick up, but Middlesbrough turns that one upside down. Now Cesario. Furaguy zips one to Beach. Is she in? Yes! And this big separation in a game like this, 8-5 now with just over 5 minutes remaining.
Well, the wind, I'm sure you can catch it on our pitch, Mike. It is really starting to breeze and bluster up. Let's get another look at that final scoring offense for Natsuo. They are working it out here. Furaguy with a beautiful inside. You could really see the exploitation. A big old bracketing in the end zone from Tina McDowell, respecting the blistering pace of the wonderful Katie Forth, of course, formerly from my home nation, Great Britain, but has been residing in Texas for a long, long time. Lots of love in our live chats. Hello to all 110 of you watching at this particular moment. Bang that like button, hit subscribe and the bell for notifications, and do consider becoming a patron of our ultimate coverage. Yes, we do get some money out of the tournament budgets, but we bring you all these things like the drones, the extras, the little pieces because of our patron supporters, of course, allowing us to keep this free live and on-demand coverage here on YouTube for you folks.
Become a patron. Do it while this disc is being chased. And bang that like button. Press it.
And of course, Pletcher, Mark Pletcher and Joey Stewart go way back in the day. Elena Pletcher, hello to you. The mini Pletcher, Pletcher fame of future. And Stewart and Dazzle's goddaughter. Such a wonderful family affair, this rundown side.
From their own goal line. Dangerous. Danger taken by Don Tom, ensuring that it was danger to float it up like that. Tom for goal, another one. And another goal, 9-5. What a way to make a living. Big score line there. And 4 in a row going back to the first half, the last hold. And 3 breaks in a row. Fuse that with the goal.
Well, the body language on Jaden Scullion right now, that man is on fire, but so is the wonderful Don Tom. He's everywhere on the pitch right now. You do not want to throw the disc anywhere near him. A pocket rocket, 5'9". So to be fair, about average height for a mainland European male here over in Europe. Of course, we've been playing for a long time. Started 1989 with Carleton College. Big shout out to all of their legacy players and current students. But has been leading the charge. He captained his high school water polo team and swim team. Played 4 years of collegiate water polo. Continuous all through his medical school and residency. Of course, many doctors on the field, because when you study for so long, you get to play college ultimate for a while.
Our rundown finished. Do they have anything left? Not if Jaden Scullion continues to play like this. It will be over and done with. Cesario bangs in another one, and it is all Houston right now in Sardinia.
Wow.
10-5, 5 in a row. Since the halftime break, it has been nothing but breaks in favor of Natsuo.
I mean, the casual nature with which Kimberly Beach just celebrated that unanswered run of 4 in this second half. I mean, that is staggering swagger out here to match that fancy Sardinia headband that she's acquired here. Just pow. And that's really fantastic. I mean, Natsuo, I think they've just found a way to physically get inside the minds of Rundown. Certainly, they had a really difficult time of it last time out on the Sounds at the World Great Grandmasters level. They were knocked out of the championship by Mirto in the very early stages of the championship bracket. So coming back on somewhat of a revenge campaign here. They ended up taking the 5th spot after that quarterfinals knockout. And they took it with, well, let's just say they took it pretty handily.
Here's the pull. McCall sends the other way. And that one bounces just out the back. Appleyard will bring it to the front. Fusat there to greet him with a mark. Appleyard looks to break now. Winds up and finds Cashin. Wells with the disc. Wells pumps it. Hurd is there. And Rundown needed that. Boy, did they ever. Stem the flow, as Hannah likes to say. That is what they needed, and they're going to need a whole bunch more, but that's a start.
Well, they've applied the tourniquet just in time for the points time cap to expire, sorry. So it's going to be a game to 11 because time expired during that point. We will centralize our knowledge and make sure that is indeed the situation. But that is a display of the capabilities of Peter Wells with the disc. Just throwing an absolute dime over to Clayton Hurd, the Newbury Park executive. He's played for nice guys, and I think that's probably an accurate way to describe the majority of the Rundown side. They are really fun, really lovely, and very appreciative of our UltiTV handiwork.
They said they're all going to become patrons, and if you know them and like them, you should too. So Rundown with the all-important goal there. It is indeed a game to 11. Hannah has got the intelligence we're after.
Yeah, just a little bit of a sand jog. Get me out of the booth, keep me warm, because the wind chill factor is actually quite apparent despite this Sardinian sun.
So that one bounced out of the end zone, landed in and bounced out. Cesario will bring it to the front line. A hold here and it is game over. Championship point available for Houston.
One of many in the bag.
Cesario spinning around. Gets rid of a backhand. Furagai with a commando roll. Furagai goes low, but that one is too low. Picked up now. Nounen to Fur. Fur to Nounen. Can they tiptoe this one in and extend the game? What's the conversation now? Hawk with the hand up, wanting a discussion with Nounen. Tap back in, ready to go. Nounen spinning, faking, baking. Fur tries to force it into Hurd and can't get it. Championship point is available again, but there's a foul called.
Not overly surprised. It's not often that Russell Fur throws directly into the knees of somebody, although that had a lot of bobble on it. So maybe the foot block attempt. I mean, you've got to go for them. Joe Cole, why not?
Oh, I think there may have been contact. It was LeBong he was looking for, not Hurd, as I said earlier. But the turnover stands. Game point again for Cesario. He rushes to pick it up. jacks it right away. Guy there, Hawk on the chase. No one's going to get that out the sideline. And if Rundown are going to extend the game, they're going to have to do it with a full field conversion now.
And from the low side of the pitch, probably not quite coffin corner because it's not going to come in on the tape, but there or thereabouts. Of course, lovingly named so because of the doom and death that await those that start from there.
Russell Furr. Far sideline, jacks it. Will it stay in? Yes, it's got the right curve, but only into the hands of Houston. Scullion with the disc. Scullion looking for Groman, and it bounces off the hands. McDowell quick to pick up, and now to Furr. Nowden. Furr again. And they do extend it in the same corner as last time. It's Furr to LeBong, and they extend it 1 point, 10-7. Can they get some momentum going here and push this any further?
Well, I mean, this is a really interesting question, Steph. Natsuo's breaks have generally been flowing. They had those 3 to respond to the initial break from Rundown. Rundown then held and then pecked another one away, leveled it back up by pecking another one away in the late stages of the first half. But the second half coming into it, something happened to Rundown. They started making errors that were relatively unforced. They started just sort of being a little bit predictable, clustering around, I think, and that was what allowing players like Scullion to make those run-through blocks. Really fantastic defense. That is what has put Natsuo in this amazing position. They are 1 point away from a gold medal here at the World Championships.
World Championship gold on the line. Houston, spelled backwards, that's Natsuo with their second game point. That one knocked down by Fusat. Lugston picks up and throws to Kwok. Kwok has Tom coming under, sure-handedly collects with both of them. Then gets Kwok up the far sideline. Could this be the gold medal? Kwok goes back to center. Lugston goes down to collect. Lugston spins, looking for anything, backwards to Kwok. Fired up, Tom puts the feet down. That is in. Houston Natsuo are the world champions in the Great Grandmasters division here on the beach of Sardinia. The club team from Houston gets it done. A impressive performance and a cause for Slurpee celebration. A 7-11 scoreline to finalize things here. Hannah, what a match we had. And Houston just blew the doors off in the second half.
They absolutely did. Player of the match, right dead center of your screen there. Jaden Scullion, absolutely incredible blocks. 3 on the board for defensive efforts, 2 of each on offense, goals and assists. What a fantastic performance.
Now hang on a minute. We have just celebrated this final point, and they are still talking about this on the field. Here's a replay.
Yeah, it's right in the middle of the replay. So that's the breaks now coming from Quatch. That inside. Let's have a look. There it is, slow-mo. We're covered by a dune. You can't see.
You cannot see. The right foot was down first. We can see that. The foot that was closer to the tape was down first. That much is certain. I think after this much discussion now, and even after we've wrapped this game up, I think they got to keep playing. Here's one more look.
From our overhead angle.
Oh, that's on the tape.
That's on the tape.
That is not in.
That vibrates. That tape vibrates. All right, hold on. Let me go into the stats section. Back. Undo score for Natsuo.
Retract all celebration for the time being. They are still playing this game. Don Tom with the disc.
And the D of their lives to Rundown.
Don Tom, very short field. One forward completion will do it. The wind up, still not given. Now it's up. There it is. Fusette with the emphatic spike. The second time, twice as nice. And it only counts for one championship nonetheless. But world champions Natsuo get the job done 11-7 in a tightly contested match, even down to the last throw.
Well, all smiles for Don Tom. We remove the goal from his stat tally, but add, at long last, one little assist. Oh, sorry, 4 assists and 1 goal. There we go. That would have put him on a more even standings for his stats board. Of course, the one big block for the number 10 as well. I have to credit Don Tom with one of the most spirited performances I've seen in a while on the beach as well. Every single conversation he seemed to be involved with was handled very well indeed. All smiles, fantastic work, but a well-deserved win for Natsuo. They've been so patient, so consistent throughout the course of this tournament. They were pushed so hard. I think that gave them a little bit of an advantage earlier on in the standings here. Of course, that one against Tragic Hips, who went into Ninals ultimately in this great Grandmasters Championship. But an all USA final. It's going to be silver medals being taken back on the flights for Rundown, but plenty of smiles. And of course, Stefan Rapazzo has delivered to our booth a sideline interview with the one and only Jaden Scullion, who's going to come and take a swig of water. Of course, hailing from Madison, going back to his days back in the 90s. So,
wow.
Jaden Scullion, double world champion, Limerick last year, Sardinia this year. How are you feeling?
I just feel really fortunate, honestly. Pretty emotional. I love this team, and yeah, just really excited.
So what is your magical ingredient on defense? Because there's something, I think you seem to kind of just almost have an additional sense defensively of where the disc was going to be. That very nearly Callahan. Was it in what? Well, you can watch it back and have a go yourself. But what was it that gave you the drive really to make those plays during this match?
My teammates, honestly. I love all my team, and yeah, they just. I played in a small market team for so long, and playing with this group of veterans that have, I mean, the pedigree of this team is so above and beyond any other team I've ever played with that I just feel very, very fortunate.
So we talked in a previous sort of sideline interview about kind of the origins of your team, but what's it been like? Because you've had some additional personnel coming across. Last year it was heartbreaking quarterfinals against Team America. This year it's you at the top of the podium. Have any of the additions been particularly key, do you think?
I mean, obviously Andrew Lugsden is a huge contributor. I think John Klaus had a phenomenal weekend. He is a motor, just on and off the field. The guy is just an incredible teammate, and you know, I think we have a lot of savvy veteran throwers, and our entire team is so gifted, but I think that John and myself, being the younger guys, kind of reinvigorated some of their youth, and we all kind of piggybacked on each other.
I see you brought the water from the fountain.
I just turned 48, so that is probably another thing.
Well, it's lovely to have you in this great Grandmasters division. Of course, you do have that experience from the younger Masters divisions coming through.
Yeah.
But what in particular for you makes great Grandmasters special?
Just the camaraderie, and these are all my heroes. I mean, I grew up playing against these women and gentlemen, and I just feel like, you know, these are our golden years, and it's just so special. You know, it's just every point that you're out there is a gift, and I think that we all play with that love of the game and that love of just having these opportunities and realizing how special they are. You know, and we all have that. You know, when you're young, you don't you don't really realize that these moments are so special.
Indeed, and they really are flush, these championships, with those moments. Is there any moment you'd like to particularly highlight apart from the gold medal win?
There's so many. There's so many.
What comes to mind first?
Sardinia. Sardinia. Just you know, it's ultimate, but it is also a vacation with your friends and meeting new people of like mind all over the world is so special, and it just really makes you realize, you know, with everything that's going on in this world, we are all, you know, it's just it's really important to realize that these are the important things, and family, good food, and Frisbee. That's what it's about. I have to give a shout out to
I was going to say, I think we might have had some shout outs for you, particularly in our live chat.
I want to thank my wife, Dana, and say hi to my daughter, Isla. I love you both so much, and thank you.
Well, we can tell you, you did indeed get a response of "Go Daddy Go" from Isla herself in our live chat on YouTube.
Fantastic.
So massive shout out to you watching back home. It's been a pleasure. Thank you so much, Jaden, for your time.
I also wanted to thank you and give you and your partner so much credit. You guys have done an amazing job. And my wife and my family at home has really enjoyed your commentation, and yeah, you make this game really special, so thank you for your time.
Oh, it's our pleasure, Jaden. Do you think anyone should become a patron then to help support us in the future?
Oh, please send money, and this is an incredible, it's an incredible group of people making our sport, you know, bring it to the world, and it's an important thing. So I really do appreciate you.
Well, it's our pleasure. It really is all about you folks out on the field doing the real hard work, making our job nice and easy, giving us lots to get excited about, especially your defensive plays, Jaden. We'll let you go back to your team and go celebrate a well-deserved win.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Jaden Scullion there. Fantastic emotion in these moments here on the pitches in Sardinia. A far journey coming from Madison all the way across, fighting the jet lag, fighting against a pack of amazing teams. Your new world champions, Natsuo.
Natsuo, Houston, Texas, champions of the world in the Great Grand Masters division here on the beach. It's been a wild ride, Hannah. We've had the ups and downs. We've seen a bit of it all. We've had this beautiful beach to ourselves to some end for 4 days. We've had the wind arrive in the dying hours of this tournament to wreak a little bit of havoc and shake things up a bit, but it has been an absolute treat, as it tends to always be, but something special about these beach ones. Just a great vibe here all, I always want to say weekend, but for the last 4 days long. It's been a wonderful, wonderful ride here, and I'm almost sad to see it come to an end. I am. It's that PTD. We're all going to get that post-tournament downer.
We are. It's inevitable post-tournament blues. However, Steph, for us folks at UltiTV, it won't be very long until we're back out bringing you coverage from grass. If you've enjoyed this coverage of the World Great Grandmasters Beach Ultimate Club Championships, you can catch us in Wrocław next weekend, starting on Friday with the live streaming. We'll be bringing you that, of course, live, free and on demand on YouTube.
All the good stuff coming at you non-stop. Be a patron, like and subscribe. All the things we preach them for a reason, not for you to just let them in one ear and out the other. Use your fingers, press the buttons, do the things. Big love to our crew there. She is Lucia Pekarova on that camera 4 days straight in the sun, getting the job done. Boy, oh boy, do we love her. And there is the big unit, Yellow Jesus, Shmee, whatever you want to call him. It's actually Milan Vanden Bovenkamp doing it all. He's the octopus arms behind the desk, and we couldn't do it without him. We're very happy to have this crew here, and another crew doing it in Switzerland right now too.
Indeed, and also to not forget and neglect our wonderful partners, the Beach Ultimate Lovers Association, all of our fantastic local organisers, the Sardinian athletes coming out and keeping us physically grounded and down to earth despite the horrendous wind conditions. My final little bit for that performance from Natsuo, despite the breeze here, defensive break conversion rate of 70%. We won't talk about the average passes per turn for either side, but fantastic work out on the sands. And again, hats off to our runners-up at the World Championships, Run Down.
All that, and it finishes with cause for celebration and Slurpees, a 7-11 final scoreline. What more could we ask for? Here's what we'll ask for. Here's what we'll tell you. A little shout out to our new patrons. Thank you for being with us and joining Puffy8, Timo, Marlene Varblas, Ryan Rocket, Henrik Young, and Michael Hatzblaka.
Hestbacker. That would be a lot of Finnish names. We love our Finnish patrons, and of course they've been dominating the patron votes as well. But massive thank you, our record number of patrons. We just keep on growing our community. Lots of love to all of you watching. Like, subscribe, UltiTV.
And here's the Queen Presidente herself, Sofia Pereira, putting this all in, doing the hard work. And she gets to play too, so she reaps some of the playing benefits. But the hours behind screens and, you know, herding kittens here to make all this stuff happen, she deserves a lot of credit. And this is the least we can do is give her some on-air credit at the end of a wonderful tournament.
Do you have any words, Sophia? No words. No words, only love.
Just smiles. Smiles and love. Thanks again, everybody. Join us from Poland next time. But lots of love from here on the beach. It's been a wonderful ride, and thanks for being with us. We'll catch you at the next one.
Let the rain wash away the tears that keeps crippling. Now that you're looking up, I can see it in your eyes that lately it's been tough. But now the sun is rising, and we're new people. Let's be new people. There's summer. Don't let me down, down, down. Don't let me down, down, down. I wanna be up, 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 so high. 'Cause I've been down, down, down. I've been down, so down, and I'm dying. I'm aiming for the sky. Don't let me down. Don't let me down. Aiming for the sky. Don't let me down. Don't let me down. I'm aiming for the sky. Now that you're looking up, I can see it in your eyes that
Thanks. Merci beaucoup.
Yeah, ultimate.